Come take a look at the latest from Creature Caster. This is the Lady of Depravity.
Spiky bits.
What's up, hobby maniacs? Rob Baer with you again today, checking out a preview copy of this lady right here, the newest lady in the series from creaturecaster.com. This is the Lady of Depravity, whatever you want to say, potato. But it's a great miniature from them. They keep putting out these new releases. They keep getting better and better quality, really kind of forward-thinking posing and artwork on these things. And of course, now this is a preview copy. So, you know, I don't have what is going to be the final product in you guys' hands. I actually don't even know what the miniature is supposed to look like assembled. I have not assembled this yet. It is not yet for sale over at creaturecaster.com. So I do know that I believe it was $76 Canadian, so it'll be about $63, $64 US. There is some artwork over on the site that you can check out. Maybe we'll throw it in the title. I'm not sure. You know, these are really interesting designs that may not be safe for work a lot of times, so I try not to kind of throw the images all over the place. But obviously, if you clicked on this, you kind of, you know, already have an expectation for perhaps what might be involved with this model, let's say. It is a rather, I guess, what would we say, thorough model as far as options go. There's a ton of different options. Like, I had to lay this all out and try to figure out what was going on with it. By me, I mean James Stay Stealth did. And once we kind of got a handle on it and all the options and kind of where everything went, that made it a lot easier to try to figure out what exactly is going on with this kit. So let's lay it all out and take a closer look. Alright, so first off, this model comes, like I said, with a lot of different options. Well, as you can see here, there's a lot going on with this front. Of course, lots of detail work up in this front area right here that, of course, is very well done, as we would expect from these folks. You can see up in here in this cowl, there's a lot of very good looking detail up into the horn area and stuff like that. On the back, the armor's all very well sculpted. I mean, I think, you know, I don't know why the armor breaks right here, but I mean, thank God it did, because now, you know, there's room for all of that. Again, I do like the way that they kind of break up the miniature here. We saw in the past where there would be a break right here with like legs, and that led to a lot of problems, you know, trying to shave up the area around the butt that, you know, sometimes it's really hard to kind of shave down flash lines and stuff on these round areas. I like how with both of the Lady of Strife and now this lady right here, that you don't have to kind of worry about that. Like, all of these essential areas that you want to pay close attention to from a hobby and also a painting aspect, there really isn't any mold lines or anything like that. So that's kind of cool because, like I said, rounded areas just really don't shave down, and it's very hard to remove flash. Once you get down to the tail here, and you can kind of see, this is the base that it comes with, that you can, it's probably about 60 mil round. We'll get you an exact measurement on it. It could easily go on a 60 mil round base, but from this way, its fattest point is about 2 1/8 inch, and over here, you're about 2 1/2, maybe 2 and 1, 2, so I would go 2 3/8 just to be safe right there. But like I said, it'll easily fit on 60 mil round base, which is roughly 2 1/2 inches in the US system. Now, the base itself is pretty well detailed. Like I said, this is a preview copy to test out the molds and things. It's not necessarily indicative of the quality you're going to get, but I think we can all agree that the quality usually looks pretty good on these unboxings here. So you can see here that there's like some sort of a broken up kind of human, maybe a decayed skull right here, and it's really weird. It's like somebody's holding a hand, like they're holding their chest right here, and this is like a chest area going up to a neck, and then it's like it got turned to stone. Like, it's really interesting looking. Like, I don't know what the history is behind this miniature or how it works. And then there's a face that's like broken off at the neck, and then of course you've got you know, a six-pack, you know, pecs here and all of that, and a leg area and a kind of groin with like a cape. So it's like almost like somebody was turned to stone or something. I don't know. I don't know what this is all about or how it works, but it's really interesting, and it would be probably pretty fun to paint right there. Now, up here, there's another kind of creepy looking face in stone on this, what looks to be kind of like a pillar, right? And then you've got this area right here, and that's where her tail goes. So the tail is kind of segments together here, and it's going to be really difficult to hold, but I'm going to do my best to show you all. And then this area goes here or flips around and locks in. Yeah, kind of like that. And it's like the rattlesnake kind of effect. So then this, flip it over, and goes around this pillar. Like I said, it's a little tricky. It doesn't like lock together, so it's a little bit kind of tricky to get together here. And then down at the bottom is where, so difficult. There we go. And down at the bottom is where the torso is going to attach. So kind of like that. So down at the bottom is where the torso is going to attach. Boom. And that comes up like so. So this kind of gives you an idea of exactly how this goes together and how it's going to look from kind of standing up kind of standpoint. Like I said, we haven't seen any pictures on this, and I kind of held off doing my unboxing just because I didn't really know how it went together. And you know, a lot of people are like, hey Rob, I love your unboxings, but you know, I'd really appreciate if you would put the miniatures together at the end of your unboxing. And there's two reasons that I don't always do that. Sometimes we do like things like Mortarion or things we're gonna hobby on Twitch and things, but it takes a lot of hours to properly trim down a miniature, sometimes 2 to 3 hours, and then put it together and then glue it and then come back and record it. And when you're talking, you know, the time, I don't want to harp on things and, you know, talk about, hey, I'd love to do these things, but hey, I would really love to do these things. There just isn't enough time in the day to do all of these things here and still put out the quality of content that we put out. So we're not always going to put these guys together, unfortunately. Sorry, but we will do our best to kind of show you how it all goes together. This is also going to be a giveaway on Twitch, eventually, kind of a win it before you can buy it at some point. And that's probably another reason why we're not going to actually physically put it together. But a lot of these things we review too, we give back out on Patreon as you know, kind of rewards for people supporting the direct videos. Because let's face it, in this day and age, I think everybody is well aware of the shift that's going on with advertising on YouTube. And well, let's just say there's not a lot of money in it on the gaming side for actually you know, even breaking even off the cost of product. If that is the case, there's not a lot of things we actually directly buy anymore, and then, you know, spending all the hours recording and also breaking down the video content. Now, that being said, I'm more than happy to do it. We love doing it. I've been doing it for years and years and years and years. But please understand that we try to put out a great product for you guys, and we can't always get everything assembled and show it to you all. And that's kind of why I'm feeling a little guilty with this particular model here, because we just don't have the time to break it all down and put it together when we don't even have any reference material, unfortunately. Now, something we discovered about this miniature is it's going to have multiple arms, and each arm is going to have multiple options, which is really cool. There's also some slots here for wings. So you're going to see here that just like the Lady of Strife, we do have some wing options, and they are pretty big, to say the very least. Now, every demon that seems to come out from Creature Caster seems to be very unique in its own way. Now, this is definitely a kind of high, up in the air kind of wing type deal, very different from the Lady of Strife that we saw in the past, which I think is pretty cool. It's very forward thinking, but for the first time we kind of saw some options here from Creature Caster that give you kind of something different, perhaps. Like they have these little slots here with what will be, let's see, which one does it go in here? So this is another option. Instead of the wings, there's these crazy long, like ripper kind of tendril things. And again, I don't have all the artwork here, but I'm assuming because the wings go up at that angle that this is exactly how it would also go up. And this goes up to here and then sockets into some sort of huge scythe, kind of, I don't know, almost like a cross between some Tyranid creature and perhaps like the brain bug that had this big thing that would come out and kind of slice into people and then suck out their brains. So this could be, and I don't 100% know for sure, but this could be maybe the remnants of a wing or something like that, right? Or it could just be some sort of scything talon weapon thing. So I don't know, but it doesn't exactly compare directly to the wing itself. But again, it's some sort of option there. Also, another thing that I noticed is on this front part right here, there's a spot for this really well detailed little kind of hook. And the reason they did that is because that's a wicked undercut and it'd be very difficult to cast. But even though this is a preview copy and this is like just testing out the mold, you can tell that their wings are definitely getting better and better and better. Lots of great looking detail here that would be very easy to paint and highlight using washes and even just dry brushing, but definitely airbrushing would get you there. Some really great little cut back horns, very small to medium to what you saw was the larger one that attached on there separately. So lots of great looking detail on here. So that's two of the options for the wings. Well, we still have two more slots right there, of course, and the heads. Now, I didn't get all the pieces for the heads, but I kind of figured out sometimes that just doesn't happen just because they don't have it casted up, or they want to go back to the drawing board or something like that. I don't know the specifics on this particular kit. Like I said, I've been a little bit in the dark, but that's okay. I'm more than willing to take a stab at it, so please take everything I say today for this video with a grain of salt, except for I do know how much the miniature is going to be. Like I said, I believe it was 76 Canadian, so it's about 63 US. Now, there are more options here. We have some arm options, and there's two different blades and two different arms for those blades right there. But you can also cap it with this crazy scythe kind of thing. So you can go all four blades for all the arms, or you can go two sets of blades and the crazy demonette kind of claw thing if you want. Now I'm trying to figure out, just looking at this, what side it is. I think it's this one. Yeah, it is that one. And then right there you have the option for whichever one plugs in there, which looks to be this one. So keep in mind the posing here. So you've got this arm that's going to be out kind of center. You've got the big ass wing that's going to come up here, and then you're going to have this arm which locks down underneath, whoops, which slots in underneath, right? Sort of, maybe. There we go. So this is going to kind of slot in underneath all of that. Like I said, very difficult to kind of hold all these parts. They do fit together very good. It's just once you get some primer on here and you get a little bit of stick, it's going to go just fine, but we don't have that quite yet. So that arm's going to go out. You're going to have to the right, this one's going to go up, and then you're going to have the big ass wing. So very kind of what do they call that? I guess like a kind of hexapod with 6 arms, something like that. So very kind of a hexapod type snake demon thing, which definitely makes sense. And if you haven't counted up yet, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Looks like 10 sets of breasts here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think the original artwork showed 16. That seems a little excessive, which is kind of the theme of this, but you know, when art actually becomes something physical in reality, then that's a whole different thing, and I guess that's all they could literally squeeze in here. Maybe those two right there count. I don't know. Maybe. But great looking miniature nonetheless, and very well sculpted, as you can see here. So there's one more thing to show you. It does come with 2 sets of heads. Let me show you what's up with that. So you've got this one here, which is kind of like crazy Clive Barker kind of type deal. And this one here that has some horns that attach to it. Now, like I said, you do get 2 different sets, and it took me a minute at first to figure out, WTF, why do I have 2 different sets of heads here? And there's a reason. There's these little slots at the bottom of the neck on both of these. And what I think that's for is there's some sort of bits of hair. If you look at the artwork, the artwork for the demon itself has hair coming down off the back of the head. So that's the only thing I could think of. There, it doesn't make sense that it's like a talon or anything like that, or claws. Perhaps, maybe it is, but I just don't feel like it is. And looking at the artwork, I feel like that there's probably some sort of like hair, little kind of lashes of hair bits. I know hair inherently is hard to cast if it's not just little bunches of fur or something. I have heard that from several sculptors, so maybe that's why the pieces didn't come, but they are definitely not in here. Now, there are some horn bits, but those go up top here on this area right here to kind of give you that devilish kind of horn assembly, which you can see right here. Now, this is easily my favorite head, my favoriteest lady head that they've sculpted. I don't know what it is, but I think they captured kind of the essence of what they were looking for here in this particular head, and having the extra little bits right there to give it the little bit of curve, I definitely feel like is going to float a lot of people's boats. I personally like it. The little kind of crazy Clive Barker head that I just showed you also is pretty neat. But again, I'm not sure it's for everybody. It is definitely creepy, but there's a time and a place for everything, I suppose. And this just doesn't float my particular boat, but that doesn't mean it won't float yours, of course. And don't let me tell you what you like, because we all like something different. Turns out that's what makes us all people. So again, you've got two different sets of wing options, which I think are all pretty neat. Two different ways you can equip some of the arms. You can go double swords, or you can do crazy demon claw type thing. You've got two different sets of heads. One of my personal favorite sets of heads so far from Creature Caster, and this other cool one as well. Dope sculpted base with like crazy people that have been turned to stone or something, I don't even know, and smashed apart. And of course the rattlesnake kind of coil that goes around the base as well. And all of these are obviously mirrored in the other side as well, but I'm not going to show you that because there's definitely no way I can kind of hold that all together. So all in all, I think it's another great kit from Creature Caster. I do want to tell you how tall it is. It's going to be on par with the Lady of Strife, of course, which I think was 6 inches tall. Of course, way smaller than the male version. Warrior Demon, you know, that's kind of what you would expect. I mean, it's just it turns out that when you compare male and females, that females tend to be a little bit smaller than males. So that's just, you know, art mimicking life, I suppose, right there. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever, just a little bit accurate as it comes down to it. Let's see how tall this is. And of course, it's going to be a lot taller with those wings, so you're talking about 5 inches right there to the top. And then when you slot the wings in, let's say this is here, right? So that would slot in, and that was 5 inches to the top right there. So now you're talking another about 1.5. So you're talking about 6.5 inches all in to the top of the wing set right there. So again, very comparable to the Lady of Strife size-wise, along with the base, which will easily fit on a 60 mil right there. So that's it for this one. You can obviously head over to creaturecaster.com to pre-order this model. Depending on when you watch this video, I'm sure they will have it up for pre-order at some point. Currently, at the recording time, there isn't even a picture of the miniature out yet on their site. So hopefully I did a good job for you guys. Trying my best here, sizing all these things up and trying to figure out how they go together. And like I said, I'm very anxious to see what those slots were at the bottom of the neck, maybe some sort of hair pieces or something like that. So that's it for this one, y'all. Thanks for watching. Please turn on notifications and subscribe to our channel so you can be the very first to like and comment on all of our features that we put out here, and head on over to thelongwar.net. That's the home of the battle reports for exclusive content, early access videos, and more. Become a veteran of the Long War today.